Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Starlight Beacon Transmissions Live. This is episode 100 between audio episodes and our YouTube live shows. Yeah, we have made. Yeah, bow, 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 bow. Pew. Yes, we have done 100 of these. And yeah, here we are, 100 episodes later. Um, I first off, I want to say thank you all for your support. Thank you to the Starlight Beacon Transmissions community. Thank you to the High Republic community, the Star Wars community, the Star Wars podcasting community for welcoming me with open arms. I really appreciate it, and it just means so much to me. Um, I also would like to thank my wife for everything that she does with her love and support and being my producer. When it comes to this, I'd like to thank Pickle, our producer cat, for for giving me topics to use. I'd like to thank our old producer cat Polly for joining me for some live shows, and I also want to thank my family and my friends for their support as well. This has been an incredible journey, and we are just getting started. you know, we've done 100 things, like I said, between audio only and now our YouTube shows, and here's to 100 more. I will be making an announcement here in just a second, but before we do that, gonna tell you what tonight's show is about. Excuse me, real quick. Sorry, folks. Tonight we are talking about AwesomeCon and how we invaded there last weekend, and because we didn't have time to, well, because we were at AwesomeCon this week, or last weekend, we are going to be talking about Star Wars Outlaws, which I am so excited to finally talk about this game. This, oh man, I'm so excited to talk about this. So we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. So that's what tonight is about, and kind of just talking to you, the community, and telling you what we have planned for Starlight Beacon transmissions. So, actually, let's get into that. So, we are still going to be doing some live shows, but since it's summertime and a lot of people are busy, um, and I'm pretty busy too. I've got a lot coming up in July with going to visit family, and we have shore leave July 7th through the 9th. So, we have a lot going on in July. We have a lot going on in August as well. And in September, we we have a little bit going on in September. So, I'm probably going to focus more on doing audio content instead of doing YouTube live shows. I'm probably going to do about 1 to 2 YouTube live shows a month for July, August, and then September we'll see how things are going, and then we'll jump into things in September. So next weekend you'll get a live show, and then it'll probably be a live show at the end of the month for July, and then for August we'll see how that goes. But like I said, I'm going to try to do more audio content. That way we can still churn out content. That way we can still get the community together and everything. We're still going to be hanging out in Discord. We're still going to do all of those things, but as part of trying to regroup and trying to get some stuff together and really try to grow things. I feel like these breaks are going to help me. Not saying that I'm not passionate about doing this, but it'll help me reignite my fire for doing this. Not saying that it hasn't been doused, but breaks are nice. Like, it was really nice having last weekend off, even though I was still doing content creation because um we had our High Republic panel last weekend. So, I was still doing Star Wars stuff and I was still trying to network as much as I could, but now I'm really focused on trying to put together a mission statement, I guess, and trying to put together a direct focus for what we're going to do here. I know I've said, like, we're going to focus on the High Republic, and we still are. Like, that's where our bread and butter is. The High Republic and the Acolyte, that's where our bread and butter is. But I am so excited to talk about Star Wars Outlaws that I may do content creation just surrounding Star Wars Outlaws. I've even talked about, my wife and I have talked about this, and I talked about this with some guys at AwesomeCon last weekend. I love comics so much that I want to do more comic centered podcasts too. So I really feel like I can focus on the comic book stuff through audio content as well. And we can still do the goofy weekly live shows and everything. Like, when Ahsoka comes out, we're probably going to cover Ahsoka. It's probably not going to be as in depth as it had been with, like, The Mandalorian, or even season 1 of The Bad Batch, Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, all of those things. So we're still going to focus on these things. But yeah, the High Republic is our bread and butter. The Acolytes are bread and butter. Video games are our bread and butter, and so are comics. So I really just want to shift focus to that. And this will allow me time to really to build up our content creation team, to get some more people involved with that. And it'll also allow me time to really just rebuild. I'm not saying that we're struggling, we're not, but like, this is going to allow us to rebuild. So and mental health breaks are good. They really, really are. And that to me is the most important thing. Right now I only really have the weekends off to not only do this for you all, but to spend time with my wife and to, get and catch up on things. So, it's a little bit tough, and I really feel like this break is going to be good for not only for you but for me as well. And it'll just it'll be nice, like I said, we're still going to do content updates and everything, but this is where we need to focus right now, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So stay tuned for all of that. But for now, let's talk about we're going to talk about AwesomeCon, and we're going to talk about Star Wars Outlaws, and we're just going to have a good time. So we were at AwesomeCon last weekend in Washington D.C., and I got to tell you, this was kind of an emotional roller coaster of a ride when it comes to cons. I will say this: I love AwesomeCon so much. It's such a great convention. This is the most crowded convention I've ever been to, and they get a lot of people. Like, Saturday alone, they had what, like, maybe 30, 40,000 probably. I don't know, but it was pretty high. So it's a very popular convention, but it's a lot of fun. And then it's nice to do, like, Ocean City Comic Con and Shore Leave and Farpoint, which are really smaller cons. So, like, you can just kind of just chill and enjoy yourself and just really relax. Those are, like, the relaxing conventions, I guess you could say, because Awesome Con, it's go, 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 like, all the time. and the days fly by, but like in the best way possible. Like seriously, it's such a great show. So we were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, last weekend. And Friday, so I'm just going to tell this story since I'm the only one here and I can, tell this story. uh so we got to the con, what was it, about like 11:30 or like noon on Friday. Yeah. And so we waited to get into the con, and they were actually pretty good about letting people in just a little bit earlier than expected. And we went to Awesome Con to not only do our High Republic panel, which was that Saturday, but when they announced Ashley Eckstein and James Arnold Taylor and Matt Lanter, we just pretty much said we have to find a way to swing this. We have to go to this convention, because we said if they're ever at a convention close to us, we were going to go. And so we got it. We went, and it was, I'll get to that in a second. So we got down to the show floor and we made a beeline for the autographs, hopped in Ashley Eckstein's line, and then there were people that were in line for the skip the pass, the skip the line, the jump the line, which it is what it is, right? But the only problem that so like my big issue with that day, I have a couple of things. And I understand like guests fly in the day of the convention and stuff like that, and they can be a little late getting there. Um, but we had Ashley Eckstein showed up half an hour late. Which, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna complain about her showing up a half hour late because she anything could have been happening, anything could have been going on, and they're human too. Like, even though they're celebrities, they're human too, and they deal with all sorts of, yeah. And DC traffic is horrible. DC traffic is the worst. So so she started signing, which was great, but you had more and more people in the jump the line, or the jump the line. So actually it wasn't really a jump the line because they were still in line to jump the line. I know, it was like a fast pass. Anyway, um, the one issue that I had was the line coordinator didn't really know what they were doing. So like they would let like a couple of people in the skip the line, go ahead, and then like they would let like two or three people in the regular line go ahead. So there was like no real alternating until like somebody actually like walked up and talked to the person. And then even when you have to skip the line, you get a ticket. So you have to give the line coordinator the ticket. And she wasn't really taking any of the tickets. So there were actually multiple people that were just hopping and skip the lines and not giving their tickets to the line coordinators. And to me, that wasn't that wasn't right. That to me was that really grinded my gears, to quote Peter Griffin. Eh, like, we're all there to meet Ashley. We are, but there needs to be accountability when it comes to people, getting these things. Like that, the person that was running the line should have asked, "Do you have your ticket? And if you do, I need your ticket." Uh, but they are volunteers. They are not paid by Awesome Con. They are volunteers, so they are getting into the con for free because they are volunteers. So, I'm not expecting it to be like super friggin' organized, but there needed to be something there. And I think it's something that they need to tweak. There's another thing that happened when we were in line that really bothered me. If you're going to get autographs, I understand you're paying a lot of money to get these autographs. But there were people that had like 10 or 12 things in front of us that were like that they were getting signed. It was two people that had like 12 things combined between them that they were getting signed. And I get it. You paid a lot for those autographs. I understand. However, come on. Like to me it was a little disrespectful because they just kept like shoving things at her to get signed, and it's like, well, the rest of us are waiting. So finally, 2 hours later, well, no, like an hour and a half, I would say, we finally got up and we met Ashley, and so awesome. So she's so freaking nice. We were so happy to meet her. We both kind of like got emotional meeting her. Like she's just so nice. So my wife has this Ahsoka Tano bag that has it's pretty much kind of an Ida bag, you could say. And it's got a pin display. So she got Ashley to sign the pin display, and just really really cool. So there's the Ashley Eckstein signature, and just she's just super nice and super awesome, and it was just and she spent like 5 to 10 minutes with her guests, which was really nice, because not a lot of celebrities do that. Like Rob Paulson spends time with his guests, like even Phil Lamar has spent time with his guests, and like a few others. But it was just really nice to take, for them to take the time. So after that, we got into Matt Lanter's line. Well, first off, my I do have to talk about the cats. So my wife makes pop culture cats. So she made an Ahsoka Tano one, an Obi-Wan Kenobi one, and an Anakin Skywalker one, and she gave each of them one of the cats for their characters. So Ashley got the Ahsoka Tano, which her handlers were loving it. Were absolutely loving it. All the handlers were loving it. So so she got that. Then we got into Matt Lancer's line. And we spent maybe 10 minutes in his line, waiting for autographs. And so we met him, and we got him to sign here where Anakin Skywalker is. Um, and that was really cool. And he got a cat. And he was super nice. Like he was really nice. He had his wife and his kid there, or kids. And yeah, and that was pretty cool. And then we got into James Arnold Taylor's line, and we met James Arnold Taylor, and of course he got a cat, and he was so excited to get an Obi-Wan Kenobi cat. And then of course, we got his autograph as well. Um, and my wife ended up on his Instagram page, which was really cool. So, really, really awesome meeting them. And and then after that, after spending 2 hours waiting in line, we decided we were going to sit down for a little bit, and then we decided to explore Artist Alley. And that was really nice. I love whenever we go to cons. I love going through Artist Alley because it's just so cool to see everybody and their creations and everything. And plus, that's also where the book fair was. So Justina Ireland was signing at a booth throughout the weekend. So was E.K. Johnston and a few other people. And that was pretty cool. And then, like, across from Artist Alley, there was a big Star Wars fan experience where 501st was there, Rebel Legion was there, Saber Guild was there, Mando Mercs, the Droid Builders and Prop Builders Club, and then the Galactic Academy, which I didn't even know about. It's a kid and teenager costuming club that Lucasfilm sponsors, and I just thought that was really cool. So, we walked around that area and everything. Plus, Pride Alley was over there too, and it was just really cool to see LGBTQ plus representation at AwesomeCon as well. Um, so just really, really, really cool. So at the end of the day, we went to the Wes Johnson's Voice-A-Palooza panel. Wes Johnson is the in-arena announcer for the Washington Capitals, but he's also done video game voices for. I think he's been in like Far Cry. He's been in multiple Bethesda games, so he's been in a bunch of Fallout games. He's been in Elder Scrolls games. He's the voice of the villain in the latest Elder Scrolls Online Necrom expansion, which is really cool. So it was him, and then two female voice actors. One of them, I believe, does the voice of Hello Kitty. The other one, I think, and like the two female voice actors were also like in a couple of Fallout games. There was another older voice actor that was the voice of Minutemen Radio in the Fallout games. And then Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulson were there as well. So Pinky and the Brain. And that was just so much fun. And so like they were reading like different things like that the audience had written down like for suggestions, and then they decided to do scripts that AI had written to show people like how bad AI is at writing scripts, and to support the writer's strike. And it was just really funny. They did John Wick chapter Portobello, and they had Rob Paulson as John Wick and Maurice LaMarche as the Russian mob boss, with Wes Johnson as the script narrator. And I mean, I was in tears. I was laughing so hard at this thing. Um, it was like John Wick like used a horse as a gun and took out a bunch of mobsters, and then like threw the horse and blew up a mobster, and then the horse ran away. It was ridiculous, but it was so funny. So there was that. There was an Indiana Jones script, which was funny, but I didn't think it was as funny as the John Wick one. And then Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche did a script reading of The Odd Couple as Pinky and the Brain, and that was really funny. And then they did songs, and Rob Paulson did Stacy's mom, but made it Jimmy's mom for Jimmy Neutron's mom as Carl Weezer, and that was really really funny. And then Maurice LaMarche singing um, Killer Queen as both Christopher Walken and William Shatner was just, it was glorious. It was so funny. And then it ended with Wes Johnson singing Creep as his character from Elder Scrolls Online, and it was just really really funny, and it was a good way to end the day. Then we went back to the hotel and pretty much crashed because we were tired. And then the next day we got up super early, got in line and everything, and went down to the show floor. My father-in-law was with us on that Saturday, kind of as a Father's Day gift. We got him a ticket, and we got him LeVar Burton's an autograph from LeVar Burton. So we ended up going down to the show floor, and he hopped in line, and we decided we were just gonna walk around and check things out, especially the vendors area, because we didn't really look at it on Friday because we were just exhausted from waiting in line. And so LeVar Burton showed up an hour late, um, which, I mean, it is what it is, but my father in law still got his autograph within about an hour or so. And then it was time for me to go upstairs to the panel room, and we did our High Republic panel, which was a lot of fun. It was me and Brooke and my good friend Liz Scott and Bria Livornia, and then Justina Ireland was with us, and it was just so much fun, and we had a good time just talking about the High Republic and representation in the High Republic, and we talked about um, tie-ins to the High Republic, especially like with the Acolyte and Young Jedi Adventures, and we talked about Jedi Survivor, and it was just a lot of fun. We took some questions from the audience as well, and we had a pretty good turnout. It was about the room was about half full, I would say. So it was a pretty good turnout. It was weird being on a panel stage and seeing people get up to leave during your panel because you're thinking, oh, this isn't going so well, but we got to keep going. But when it comes to conventions and stuff, everybody has like a different schedule and everything. So like you can't really be too upset about people getting up and leaving in a panel. I mean, I've done it. I'm sure a lot of you have as well. So, it was just it was a fun panel. We had a good time, and it was just cool just to hang out and just gush about the High Republic for about 45 minutes. And I got to tell you, the Awesome Con staff that was running the panel room was just super nice. They didn't really rush you at all, even like when they came in to like give you like the 5 minutes or whatever. Like they, yeah, yeah, there wasn't anything else for like 45 minutes. So if we did run over a little bit, I'm sure it would have been fine. Um, Yeah, for other panel rooms and stuff, yeah, we would have been kicked out. But that was a lot of fun. And then we went down and we walked the show floor some more, and that's when I started really seeing like what I wanted to get for the weekend and everything. And one of my favorite things to do at conventions, like I said, is to go through Artist Alley, and I love supporting independent comics. Like I love supporting indie comics. So, we walked around and everything, and I was looking around, and so I'm gonna show you some stuff that I picked up on Saturday of the con. I did pick up two Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering pre-release box sets. I did open one. The other one is going to my brother-in-law. Surprise! So Zach, if you're watching, um, so you're gonna get that the next time I see you. So I stopped by a couple of booths in Artist Alley, and let me see here. Yes, there we go. So one of them I stopped by. It's these guys that did a book called "The First Law of Mad Science." And it says super scientist George Baker's newest invention, electronic retinal implants known as cyber eyes, are nothing short of amazing. So amazing, in fact, and so cheap and easy to get that some 40% of the population has gotten them within their first year on the market. But they aren't perfect, far from it. When things start going inexplicably and bizarrely wrong with the original test subjects, George and his family will have to find out why before the problem spreads and causes worldwide panic. Along the way, they'll uncover ancient civilizations, corporate conspiracies, sinister cults, other dimensional creatures, awesome robots, subterranean cities, and secrets humans were not meant to know. It's going to be a wild ride. So this is the first law of mad science. I did get it autographed by the creative team. Um, Let me see here. And that was just really really cool. So the creative team behind it signed it. Um, so really really cool. Can't wait to dive into this and tell you what it's all about. So I am going to be checking that out soon. Then I went to this other booth called Project Neosis, and this is actually about um, a superhero team that is trying to stop a speedster. So there are so I got 4 issues of this. It's chapter 0, chapters 1, 2, and 3. And I believe chapter 4 is coming very soon. So I will be reading these very soon, and checking them out. So yeah, they actually have them as episodes. So you see episode 0 here. You have episode 1. You have episode 2, and you have episode 3. And all of these are signed by Paul Thayer, who created this comic. So it's really cool. Super happy about this. So then the next day, we took our time. you know, we took our time, and we got into the convention about 10:45 or so, and we decided that we were pretty much going to stay on the show floor for a good chunk of the day, until we went to a Lord of the Rings panel that had Sean Astin, um, Elijah Wood, and Andy Serkis. Oh, that's right. The Lord of the Rings panel was Saturday. That was after my High Republic panel. And that was a lot of fun. And then Sunday, the panel that we went to was the Clone Wars voice actors panel, to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Clone Wars, and that was really cool and a lot of fun. So the rest of the day, we pretty much just spent on the show floor, um, you know, checking the vendors area and artist alley, picking up some last minute stuff. And I do want to talk about these guys here. I gotta plug. I gotta plug this independent comic company. They're from New York. They are super awesome. A lot of fun. I can't wait to dive into their comics. They are called Unstoppable Comics, and they are from, like I said, they're from New York. And they had a booth on the show floor in the vendor area, and they had individual issues as well as trades for their books, but they also had blind boxes, or I guess you could say loot boxes, and these are really cool. So these were what, 25? Yeah, $25. So you automatically get a $25 value in this, but a lot of people were like pulling stuff. Like people were getting like 50, $60 values in some of their boxes too. So I decided to pick one. Um, my wife helped me pick one out, and I'm going to show you what's in this box because this is really cool. So, Unstoppable Comics, it is their own universe that they created. Um, like I said, they're a small independent company from New York. So I got a shot glass that they gave to me for also getting for also getting the blind box. So it didn't it didn't fit in the box, but it did when I put it in there. But they didn't want the boxes to like fall and break the shot glasses and stuff. So I got shot glass here. So if I feel like ever taking shots on live stream, I'll use my Unstoppable Comics shot glass. Just gonna put that there. And then it came with 2 pins. Um, This is Star Striker, who is an Unstoppable Comics character, and then we have this. I believe, what's his name? I have to look at the book again. Let me see here. Oh, Dragonstorm. That's right, Dragonstorm. Okay, so yeah, so I got Dragonstorm pin, and it's really cool. So it's really neat to see these pins. And that was a welcome surprise, really. And then I got an autograph it looks like it's an autographed Dragonstorm poster, limited edition poster. And the great thing about this is they don't fold them up; they actually roll them. So it's so much easier to like put in the box and everything, and so much easier to like hang up and unfurl. So I'm probably gonna hang this up soon-ish. Um, you know, could you imagine like right behind here? Like that would be a lot of fun. Or when I get my streaming corner set up, then I'll hang this poster up also. So I did get comics in the box, which are really really cool, and I'll show you guys here. Um, let me see here. Let me see here. So we have this. It's kind of a horror comic called Limbo: Open Almost Eternity. Um, so this is pretty cool. Super excited to read this one. And then we have another kind of I guess you could say supernatural comic. I wouldn't really call it a horror comic, but this one is called The Dead Princess, Vicky Sticks, and this is issue number 1. And then let me see here. Oh, this the Limbo is also issue number 1. Let's see here. Then I got Storm Chasers. Well, actually, I'll save that for last because that was pretty cool what those guys did. So I got Shield of the Interceptor here. This is Shield of the Interceptor number 1. And with this, this is pretty much Arthurian legend. So you have the Shield of Avalon to go along with the Sword of Avalon, and this gentleman here wields the Shield of Avalon. So really excited to read this book and to check it out. Then this is really really cool. Um, this is the 10th anniversary of Dragonstorm number 1. So this was actually the big thing of value in my box, and it has a certificate of authenticity. This is number 14 of 100. Really cool. So excited to read this book. And just I mean, look at the art. Like the cover is really really freaking cool. So the certificate of authenticity says Dragonstorm number 1 10th anniversary edition. This is to certify the collectible listed above is considered authentic on this date 9/24/18, as long as it is accompanied by this certificate numbered 14 out of 100 and sealed in its original tamper-proof packaging. So I mean, I really want to open this, but but I can't. Um, I'll pick up the trade from these guys. Like I'll pick up the trade, because I do not want to open this because it's so cool and such a cool collectible. And then they have another comic here called Storm Chasers, which is a team book. So Storm Chasers number 2 came uh, came in my box. A really really cool cover and everything, but um I was talking to the guys and then they decided, or well, I was talking to them about Storm Chasers because I asked like if they had issue 1, and so they were like looking for things, and they gave me issue 1. This was their last issue 1 that they had for the show. So I have Storm Chasers issue 1. Um, and that's the back. Really, really cool cover. And then what? Oh. And then they gave me Storm Chasers issue 3 to go with it. So really cool. So happy. These guys are awesome. Like seriously, Jay and the team over at Unstoppable, they're really cool, and I really can't wait to dive into this universe and read these books because I just have a feeling that they're really just gonna they're gonna blow my mind with these books, and that's a good thing, you know. So there's that. Check these guys out, Unstoppable Comics. I'm also going to be posting better pictures of this haul on Instagram, probably after the show. That way they can see everything, and that way you all can see everything. So, but yeah, definitely check out Unstoppable Comics. These guys are awesome. So let me talk about um, something else while we're on comics. So one of the things that I've noticed with Awesome Con is there's it's a lot of like small independent comics, and I am more than happy with that. Seriously, I am very happy with that. However, you have a con sponsored by Dark Horse Comics, and yet you don't have a Dark Horse Comics booth on the show floor. Hmm. Okay. I mean, it is what it is, but you would think that they would try to have, if Dark Horse is a big sponsor, well, get them a booth on the shore on the show floor. That's all I'm gonna say. The only like big comic book publisher booth was Zenoscope Entertainment, and that is a lot of sexy fairy tale ladies. And if that's your thing, cool, cool. I'm not here to judge. Yes, boobies. I'm not. I can't believe I said that. I did. It's episode 100. Who cares? I mean, I care, but you know what I mean. I mean, and if that's your thing, I'm not going to judge. Like, if you really like those books, cool. I received a free book from them a few years ago at Baltimore Comic Con. I read it. I did not really like it. It wasn't my thing. But like I said, if it's your thing, that's cool. But I love reading comics, and one thing that I'm reading right now that I am so excited to read, and I'm having a blast reading is I've been going through the milestone stuff from DC Comics uh lately, and I have Milestone Compendium 1. Loved it, absolutely loved it. It collects the first year of Milestone. um Really good. Like it collects Static Shock, Icon and Rocket, Hardware, Zombie, Shadow Cabinet number 0. Really, really cool. If you watched Young Justice, Icon and Rocket were actually in Young Justice, which was really cool. Static Shock, of course, had his own TV show. I'm hoping Hardware gets something very soon. I hope Zombie gets something very soon. Really cool stuff. And so I've had this for a while. Like I had Compendium 1 for a while, read it, loved it, and now I've had Compendium 2 for a while. So yes, I am reading Milestone Compendium number 2. Look at how thick this is. Look at this. This 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 is thick. Um oh, oh Lord, he coming. Um, but this is really cool. I'll tell you what this says. So it says Worlds Collide. It's the clash of capes, quips, and metal when Icon, Static, Hardware, and the rest of the Milestone ensemble meet Superman, Superboy, and Steel in one of the most epic crossovers of the 1990s. A mysterious entity has breached the barrier between the Dakotaverse and the DC universe, threatening to destroy both worlds if it isn't contained. Will the combined efforts of Superman, his allies, and the heroes of Dakota be enough to defeat this omnipotent force? And finally, the truth is revealed about the Big Bang that gave all the superpowered beings in Dakota City their abilities. So this collects, I'll tell you here, says featuring more tales from comic book legend Dwayne McDuffie with Ivan Velez Jr.,
Robert L. Washington III, Chris Cross, M.D. Bright, Wilfred Santiago, Dennis Cowan, and Jean Paul Leon, and more. Milestone Compendium 2 continues to showcase the legacy of this classic comics imprint, collects Blood Syndicate 13 through 23, Hardware 13 through 21, Icon 11 through 21, Shadow Cabinet 1 through 4, Static 9 through 20, Steel 6 and 7, Superboy 6 and 7, Superman the Man of Steel 35 and 36, and Worlds Collide number 1. Really cool. I'm about to get to the Worlds Collide event. I'm so excited to read Worlds Collide. But if you love DC Comics, if you love Milestone, or if you're just looking for something unique and different, read Milestone. Seriously, it's back under DC as another imprint, and it's so good. So freaking good. So check this out. And the art is beautiful in these books. So I'm going to get some water, and then we are going to talk about a little video game that had a reveal trailer and then a gameplay reveal just last week. So give me 1 second here. Excuse me. So let's talk about a little game that was revealed called Star Wars Outlaws. So this is a brand new Star Wars game coming next year from the team over at Ubisoft Massive. This is an open world Star Wars action adventure game. And I got to tell you, this trailer is absolutely gorgeous. The gameplay looks amazing, and it just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Excuse me 1 second. I have to clear my throat, so give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So Star Wars Outlaws introduces us to a outlaw character named Kay Vess and her companion, little alien companion named Nyx. I love that these games are giving us these awesome characters with little companion characters. I started a replay of Jedi Survivor earlier tonight, and I love the dynamic between Cal and BD1, and I really think that we're going to get a dynamic like that with Kay and Nyx in Star Wars Outlaws. So Star Wars Outlaws takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So during that War of the Bounty Hunters timeline, and I think we're actually going to get some of the War of the Bounty Hunters in this game as well. So they did show Han Solo and Carbonite in the cinematic trailer. So we'll have to see how that factors in. So the trailer was revealed during the Xbox Games Showcase. And then at the Ubisoft Forward, that's when we got the gameplay reveal. And a lot of people were thinking, oh, this is like, how open world is this going to be? It's open world. This feels a lot like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 in the Star Wars universe. It feels like we're going to get a more down to earth Star Wars story, which I'm actually really excited about to see the criminal underworld in this story as well, because we got glimpses of it with the Book of Boba Fett, and we've got a few glimpses in video games and stuff here. But this time we're like, we're doubling down on the criminal underworld, and I couldn't be more excited. So in this gameplay, we have Kay escaping from these bad guys, and with this with this object that she was contracted to get. And excuse me again, I'm sorry, I have to clear my throat one more time. Excuse me. And so Kay escapes on her speeder bike, and she goes to this cantina to meet with her client and or to meet with her handler and whoever their client is. And it turns out that the client is an imperial officer, and they didn't like Kay as much as Kay thought that they would. So this officer then makes Kay wanted. So Kay has to escape this planet, and you seamlessly, you ride your speeder bike to your ship, and then you can just get on your ship and then take off and go into orbit. And then there was this ship battle sequence with, I mean, it was gameplay, and you were taking out TIE fighters, and then you had to make the jump to hyperspace, and then it ended with Kay's ship going to Akiva and orbiting Akiva. And I'm really hoping if we're going to Kiva or to Akiva, really hoping that we get to see Mr. Bones and Snap Wexley. Like I'm hoping. I'm hoping. That would be really cool. And then looks like we're gonna get some sequel trilogy locations too, in the game as well. There's one planet that was in Rise of Skywalker that's like featured in the game, and I am blanking on it, and I apologize. It's been a long week, and I'm just trying to like get my bearings here. But there's going to be a lot of locations, a lot of missions, a lot of side missions to do. And I got to tell you, this game looks absolutely gorgeous. We saw the demo running on Xbox Series X and S, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. For those of you wondering what platforms it's going to be on, it's going to be on Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, PlayStation 5, and PC. We are beyond old generation now. Like every game that's coming out now is pretty much going to be next gen only. Um, and that's fine, that it, we get these years of like in between and everything, but now we're truly seeing next generation games. Between this and Alan Wake 2 and Starfield, really excited for these next generation games. But back to Star Wars Outlaws, a lot of us are speculating what the game is really going to be about, and what the story is. But that's the joy of waiting for this game, is that we have to, we can speculate responsibly, but we're going to get snippets here and there. We're going to get updates, we're going to see more footage and more cutscenes and stuff. But let's just enjoy the ride. Let's just enjoy the fact that we're getting an open world Star Wars game from Ubisoft Massive. Now this is the same studio that did the Division and the Division 2, which were different games. And I'm, I've played both. They're fun, but I really think, like, with this being Star Wars and being in my wheelhouse, like, this is going to be something very, very special. The buzz around this game is huge right now, and we only had a 10-minute gameplay clip and like a 2.5-minute trailer. that's that's it for this game, but we already love these characters, and we can't wait. Like, fans are so excited for this game. Now I'm speculating, they're saying 2024. I wouldn't be surprised if we got this maybe in the summertime, maybe early fall of 2024. But who knows, like, they could just shock us and drop it in like February or March too. So, all these release dates are up in the air. It also depends on, you know, uh, we got to make sure this game's polished enough. We got to make sure that it looks good enough, it plays well enough. So if they got to take their time with developing this game. But, you know, we want to see more. We want this game now. However, if you look at Starfield, which is Bethesda's Xbox exclusive that's launching in September, um they have polished the hell out of this game, and they've shown us like what this game is, what this game is going to be. So I mean, and this game was delayed due to them making sure that it looked, that it looks its best, that it plays well, that the story is good enough, everything. if they push this a little bit to like late 2024, if Ubisoft pushes this a little bit to late 2024, I'm okay with this because I want to make sure that the game looks good enough, plays well enough, but also has a good story and is an experience that we can all just enjoy. Excuse me one second here. Excuse me, I am so sorry. I'm still getting over a cold that I had, so but you know, oh, delays. I feel that we're in good hands with Ubisoft Massive. I feel that this game is going to have a lot of love, a lot of support, a lot of dedication to it. This team looks like, I mean, I've interacted with some of the team on Twitter as well as Humberly Gonzalez, who plays KVS, and I got to tell you, they are all excited for this game. They You can just tell the love and the passion that they have for this project, and they can't wait for us to get our hands on it. But they want to make sure it's good enough. And we got it with Jedi Survivor. They delayed that game, and it was amazing, and it still is amazing. So trust the system. Trust this. I want to talk about Humberly Gonzalez real quick because um, she is a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and I just love that with this being Pride Month, we found that out and everything, and everybody has just embraced her even more, and we are just ready to see what Kay brings to the Star Wars universe. Maybe one of these days I'll stop coughing. Yeah, but and I've loved the interactions that I've had with Humberly and other members of the team, where, like I said, they're just excited and they loved the just the outpouring of love and everything that that the Star Wars community and the gaming community has have given them. The excitement's real, and it's only going to go up from there. And as a Star Wars fan, we're in good hands. We really, really are. A lot of people feel that Star Wars is crap now and everything, or it's too woke and too political. And honestly, it isn't. It's always been political. It always has been. But I mean, Padme is a senator. Um, but we as Star Wars fans, we're eating good right now. There's a lot of games in development, a lot of TV in development, movies in development. The High Republic is kicking a bunch of ass. The comic book writers and the book writers are kicking a bunch of ass with projects outside of the High Republic. There's only one video game project I hope does get canceled, and that is Eclipse because of Quantic Dream and David Cage, the head of that studio. But that's just how I feel about it because those are my personal beliefs. Uh, I've said this before. I know that there are a lot of hardworking developers at that studio that are working hard on that game that do not share the beliefs of David Cage and the other higher ups at Quantic Dream. But I cannot support Star Wars Eclipse because of the crap that they've said. So that's just how I feel about it. Um, but back to Outlaws. How excited are you all? I hope that you all are just as excited as I am. And it's really cool to see this different take on Star Wars. And it's cool just to get a Star Wars game that is down to earth, you could say, that's about the everyday people like Andor was with Star Wars TV. You know, I don't. If we get Force users and Outlaws, I'm okay with it. I really am. However, I don't want to see Force users and Outlaws. I don't. I want this to be a nitty gritty underworld story. If you want to throw Dr. Aphra in Star Wars Outlaws, I am more than okay with that. I love that. If you want to throw in the Bounty Hunters crew from Ethan Sack's Bounty Hunters run, I'm cool with that too. I want I want to see bounty hunters, I want to see criminal bosses, I want to see all of that. And like I said, if we get force users, whatever, but I want an underworld story. Focus on this being an underworld story. I've said this about the Book of Boba Fett before. They lost track when they focused on Mando and when they focused on Luke Skywalker, Grogu, and Ahsoka. They had an underworld story going, a great underworld story going, and then they shifted focus and they lost sight of what that story was. So here's hoping that Star Wars Outlaws just remains focused on the criminal underworld. I do not want to see Darth Vader. I really don't. I've gotten two recent games with Vader in them, with Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, that I'm a little Vadered out when it comes to video games. So I'm cool with the Empire interaction and all of that, but just focus on focus on the Outlaws. Just focus on that, and I think we'll be good, and we'll have a good time. And that I'm kind of running out of things to say now. We're an hour in, and I talked about Awesome Con. I've talked about Star Wars Outlaws. I My wife was actually able to pick up Obi-Wan Kenobi season 1 trading cards. Yeah, I'm not going to open them tonight, but I'll show the box. I'm not going to open them tonight, but I will show you the box. We're going to be opening those up on stream very soon. That way you can all see that, and we can talk about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and whatever you guys want to talk about. They should be in the bag in the kitchen. Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to shout, people. So I'm going to show that off, and then I'll share a few other things, and then we'll end the show for the night, and then we'll do, like I said, we'll have a show next week, and then we'll be on break for a while. So we found Topps trading cards at Target. These retail for 20. They retail for 20, and so you get 6 or 7 packs in here. Actually, you get 10 packs plus one commemorative patch card. You get six cards per pack. So there's 61 cards inside. So that's the front there, and then that is the back. And we're gonna open these up very soon. We might actually open these up next week for our last live show of June slash first show of July, and then, like I said, we're going to be doing 2 live shows in July, one at the beginning of the month, and then one at the end of the month. Um, we're not going to have 2 live shows. We're not going to have 2 live shows in the middle of July due to us being at shore leave, but also me going on a trip to visit family. So there's that. And then, like I said, I'll let you all know about August very, very soon, and we'll go from there. But like I said, I just wanted to thank you all for your love and support for 100 episodes now, whether it be um, 100 regular episodes, and then we've had the handfuls of the transmission bursts. But I just want to thank you all for all of your love and support. and all of your kind words and encouragement. You all are you all are great, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you all. And yeah, so I just want to say thank you, and I love you all, and I hope that you all have a wonderful week. May the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all the Republic. I'm going to be in Discord after the show. So if you want to hang out and voice chat, join me there. Until then, bye.